Welcome to the Make It Make Sense podcast, where we make sense of the senseless and learn how things actually work. I'm your host, Yvette Baker.
And I'm Travis Lee.
So take a seat and buckle up. It's going to be an awesome ride. Hi, we're here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Make It Make Sense podcast, where we try to make sense of the senseless. And there is a whole lot of nonsense and tomfoolery and ballyhoo running around rampant in these states of America that we reside in. Travis is just sitting here shaking his head and in silence because he doesn't know what to say. He's got his hand on my shoulder. But he did give me a new hat. And I have on a hat, and it's a New Kids hat. And it's my birthday month. My birthday is next Saturday.
It's 1989 New Kids on the Block hat.
Yeah, 1989.
Yeah.
So that's like they were fresh on the scene. And thank you, Travis, for the wonderful birthday present.
I look kind of silly in it.
That's okay. Your Newport hat is great,
I got on my Newport hat, though.
Yeah, so today is the day of hats because, I mean, why not? I also have on a amethyst jewel crown that was made by the lovely Lilo Allen. Hey, Lilo! Shout out to you and the Brownsville Collective. Go see Lilo for all your crystal needs. And she makes wonderful candles. And we will put a link to the Brownsville Collective in our show stuff. I want y'all to... Travis is just... What are you doing, Travis?
I'm not doing nothing.
He told me I could do this today. You know, normally he babbles on the first 5 minutes of the show.
I'm listening.
So I just want to let you know that if you want to... We're not going to cover any Black history on this episode. You got to listen to the damage report. It is Black History Month, though, so happy Black History Month, everybody. Everybody, please celebrate Black History Month because they're trying to, I don't know what Trump's trying to do, but...
Take it away.
Take it away. I mean, he did do the thing, the proclamation, where he didn't capitalize the B's, but we are going to talk about that on there. We do talk about that on the other series that we've been doing. Or trying to do. I don't know. We're just here trying to help people.
Help ourselves.
Well, really, this is just therapy for us. I mean, I don't know. And we appreciate that you're listening to our group therapy session that we have every week. So this episode has gone from 9 different things since we started planning it. Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of...
It was going to initially be the power behind the throne, and we were going to do it about the cabinet.
Right, so a second part of the executive branch, because the cabinet is a part of the executive branch. We're going to focus on what the cabinet does and the different positions and how we have some that have been confirmed, and there's some that are already doing their job that ain't confirmed. But then...
we decided against that because they're not all even really
confirmed yet. And
right.
So we just want to make sure. So, you know, we're trying to teach you guys all stuff. So, you know, who to go to and who to yell at and who not to yell at and who to interact with.
Yeah.
So we can't really do that because it's just mass hysteria, cats and dogs living together. Mm-hmm. And so then we were talking about what we should do. Mm-hmm. And Travis and I, after 9,000 conversations, we're like, okay, let's kind of do what we usually do on the damage report on the main show, because the damage report is becoming the blackest Black history report ever for the next couple, it might stay that way forever. I don't know, because DEI and, it's got to be somewhere, and I might as well do it. But anywho, so This episode is Daddy Warbucks and the power behind the Sorcerer's Stone. Little Annie is trying to find that stone, and
little Annie is going to Hogwarts.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's dogs and cats are living together. Yeah. So why not?
That's the crossover I want to see.
Yeah, and we do mean that one. Travis,
yes.
How are you doing?
How am I doing? I'm honestly speechless. You're taking the intro to the show and talking about it, and I'm trying to sit here and collect my thoughts of everything that's happened in the last week. I just don't even know what to be angry about anymore. I don't even know where to focus my intentions to learn about the next thing. I'm reading about these financial funds that I have to figure out, and I'm
you mean
learning
the
about
big pot
these,
of money?
Yeah,
that's gonna make us wealthy.
Right, that's gonna make us wealthy somehow.
Everybody's trust fund.
Yeah, everybody's trust fund, because it's for all of us, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna distribute that wealth evenly between all of us, right?
Yes, that's right? Yeah, everybody's
and how these proposed tariffs are gonna
fund everybody's trust fund.
Everybody's trust fund.
Yep.
But also the Department of Education is getting dismantled. USAID is getting dismantled.
Bye.
We
FBI agents are 5,000 FBI agents are
right.
Our names were given to
right.
I
don't. How am I doing? I don't know. I don't know how I'm doing. Like, personally in my life, like, if you just want to talk about personally in my life, I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I'm having a wonderful week. Sitting here with my friend, recording a podcast. Life couldn't be better, honestly. But the worry, the what we need to stay vigilant for all of this, and I don't know which one to focus on. You know, we already know by the playbook that these people run when they want to set up their oligarchy or whatever they're fuck they're doing out there. We already know that it's always a misdirection game, right? We've talked about that before, but there's so many. It feels so uncoordinated, the attack. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're engaging in guerrilla warfare. Like, corporations are engaging in guerrilla warfare, but I don't believe it's that intelligent. I just believe they're throwing as much shit at the wall as they can.
Well,
until it sticks. And that's what it feels. That's what it feels like, but I know there's people behind the throne, like we intended to talk about this week, that want us to feel like that. There's people that want us to feel confused, not exactly know which one of these things that we should focus on, and what the most important thing that they will get through out of all of this. And I think the most important thing is this special war chest fund, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I mean, I feel like that's, to me, what it is. It's supposed to be a fund to that we can all benefit from. I feel like it's a war fund. That's what a lot of governments use a fund like this for, is to save up in case of a war breaks out and they automatically have some pockets that they can dig into. So I don't know. That's what I've been focusing on, is these finances, but also Elon Musk and his little team of teenagers and 20-somethings. It's crazy. It's all crazy. We're going to talk about as much as we can this week, Devette.
But it's just
But we got to keep at this every single week. We got to keep at this every single week. We might have a plan for some episodes, and we might just have to go with what's happening right now. That's usually what we use the damage report and everything for, but we got to stay fluid right now. Like, honestly, like, we got to stay vigilant on everything.
Our show is definitely gender fluid.
It's gender fluid, absolutely. So, yeah. What's going on with you, Devette?
Well, I went to Madison yesterday.
For what?
Go see my favorite ENT. Hey, Dr. Ian, what's up? He's a friend of the pod now. And I got some bad news.
You got some bad news?
Yeah, at the ENT.
About what?
About my nose.
Oh.
I can't get it fixed.
You can't get your nose fixed. I mean, you're stuck with it.
I'm stuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad nose.
No, it's not a bad nose at all.
Yeah.
Just don't work right.
Just don't work right. And I was thinking I was going to get a free nose job.
Yeah.
But nope. No nose job.
You don't need a nose job.
No, I don't need it, but like, it'd be great.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, really, that's all the strife that I have right now. I mean, but I am really, really, as far as the out there, I'm concerned that Elon Musk has my Social Security information. I'm concerned that him and his little team of young thugs are just tinkering around in the Treasury Department.
Yeah.
And so Travis is going to try to talk about like the financial stuff because that's his thing. Like money is dumb to me. Like I don't understand why we have it. Like I do understand why we have it, but like my big thing I say to people is all of this is made up anyway. Like they could just decide to be like, nope, we're not going to do this anymore and let's get together and figure out a different way. But that's too hard for them because they just are like, no, we have to keep being capitalists. And sorry, Daddy Warbucks, capitalism was never the way, but that's what y'all wanted to do because that's what made everybody money. So, I mostly have been trying to pay attention to like what's going on, like what the people are doing. And tomorrow there's marches all over the country. I know here in Wisconsin there's one in Madison. I don't know if they're doing one down here, but people are going to march to the Capitol, and hopefully they go and talk to some state legislators while they marching up to that Capitol, because again, this is why I'm not marching. I have been in marches. I have gone to marches. I have helped do security with my car for marches, and we didn't march anywhere. We just marching around the city in a circle,
not disrupting anything.
Not disrupt. Well, a little breaking into businesses and stuff. But like, when are we gonna go talk to the people who could actually fix this? And so, but I want people to pay attention. Like, this is what actually social media was for. And is for what you can use it for. And I'm like, get organized, talk to people. Even if the march itself is not doing anything, you and three individuals can go and talk to legislators. Like, that's what they're there for. And maybe you won't get to talk to the actual person, but you get to talk to the people who talk to them.
Yep.
So, look up in your local area for the march. I will post some things, but I mean, by the time y'all hear this, that march might have been passed because it's Tuesday and the march is tomorrow.
There's gonna be another one,
but there's supposed to be marches like just consistently, and so look for your neighborhood groups, look for your political groups if you're political, and you'll find something. Also, Travis, there's another Black Women, 92% Black Women Day coming up. It's yeah. So Ava and I are gonna try to plan something. So awesome. We'll want to talk about that probably at the end of the month or so. Awesome. We'll have her pop on. Yeah. So, awesome. We're tired. And we have a lot to get through, so we're gonna cut the intro part short. Travis is gonna. Oh wait, guess what?
What?
Travis, what? We have a listener in Russia.
I know we do.
So we want to say hi to Russia.
Hi, Russia.
I used to want to go to Russia when I was a kid, and then I heard people don't get to go to Russia. Yeah. And I was like, why? Like, what's wrong? Like, what do I do? Like, what did I do to Russia to not be able to go there?
Especially when we were kids. I mean, the Cold War was still on.
Yeah, well, then I learned about the Cold War, and I was like, oh, but then the Cold War was over, and then people were going there. Yeah. But then somebody was like, still don't go. They don't want you to go there. They don't like Black people. So I was like, oh, but then when Travis told me that we had a Russian listener from Moscow, I wanted to say, what's up?
What's up, Moscow?
Like, leave us a comment. Tell us how we're doing, because
Even if it's in Russian, it's fine. We can
yeah,
translate.
no, I know people who know Russian. Like, but thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna shut up and let Travis run down the socials, because that's not my job anymore.
Yes, please follow us on social media everywhere. The most important thing you can do is subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You'll be notified by push notification anytime that we publish a new episode, which is at least once a week, but sometimes 2 to 3 times a week, as things are coming in fast in these early days of the Trumpancy.
Fast
and yeah, and you can email us directly at makesensepodcast123@gmail.com. That is makesensepodcast123@gmail.com. You can find us at Make It Make Sense Podcast on Facebook, at Welcome to the Make It Make Sense Pod on Instagram, at the Mims Pod WDT Lee on TikTok, and Mims Pod EST 2025 on Blue Sky. And if you would like merch, especially t-shirts with our logo on them, probably soon to be another design up there as well, you can go to TeePublic and search for Make It Make Sense Podcast. And they generally, like, once or twice a month have a sale on there where you can get a shirt for like $17 or something like that. So we only get like $1 of that, so we're not getting rich on it. We just want to get the word out there about our podcast. So check out our merch there. And then you can go to Buy Me a Coffee / Make It Make Sense Pod. What's that?
Wait.
What?
Dorothy.
Yeah, I'm about to get to her.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Dorothy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yay, Dorothy.
Yeah. You can go to Buy Me a Coffee / Make It Make Sense. I think it's Make It Make Sense.
Make it make sense.
Let me just check the exact the URL for it. But
Travis, maybe once I should sing like a hymn or something.
A hymn for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's buymeacoffee.com / Make It Make Sense, and that's where you can go to donate money to our cause, because we don't get paid shit for this, and we would like to make this into something that is honestly a 9 to 5 for us, so we can bring better information to everybody, and we could get our own studio, we could get cameras, make this thing video.
Because we're goofy, and
yes.
I mean, our process to get going is pretty funny, so.
Yes.
Yeah. It includes Oracle and Ancestor cards, and me singing 5 songs to make Travis laugh. It's a great time.
Right. So you can go to buymeacoffee.com / Make It Make Sense, and you could make a one-time donation, or you can make a monthly donation. And there's also options on there to buy a Zoom call from us and certain other things if you want to do that as well. So
I'll
check
sing you
it
a
out.
song.
Or you could request Devette sing a song, any song.
Well, not any song, because I don't know all of the songs, people. Like.
Well, if the money's right.
Well, if the money's right and you give me time, yes, I can learn the song.
Yeah, I'll even do it if the money's right.
Ooh.
All right, so let's take a break, and we'll be back right after the break with hopefully some sense. We're going to try to make some.
Fingers crossed. Hey, Travis.
Hey, what?
Guess what?
What?
I'm having a birthday party.
You're having a birthday party? That means it must be your birthday.
Well, not yet.
Okay. Well, close enough to have a party.
Yes.
Right.
Are you coming?
I am coming.
I'm so excited.
Because it's being catered, and it sounds like a lot of good food.
When you sound making me sound bougie as fuck.
Well, I mean, you're having a party, and there's food being brought.
Yeah, because
We already established that you're a rich girl.
I'm a rich girl. I guess I'm a rich girl and I've gone
Not
too
so
far.
much.
No. I have set $3 right now.
Just because you're having a party being catered doesn't mean you're bougie or a rich girl.
No, I just asked my friend to cook it, and it's literally her buying the ingredients.
Yes. But, so I am coming to the party,
yes.
Not just because it's being catered,
No,
but also
because,
to celebrate your birthday.
yeah, and we are gonna we might have a special treat after my birthday, right? Maybe.
A special treat after your birthday?
Yeah, for the listeners.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to record an episode at your birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not taking your birthday off.
No,
we're going to work it.
We're going to work my birthday.
Yeah.
Work it. Ooh,
yeah.
ooh. Work it. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
See, we gotta hype ourselves up here, pizza people, because now that we're back from our little break, we did some breathing exercises, some somatics, and we're here to ready to talk to you.
Goose Faba.
You know, we always call segment 2 the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
And so this week's meat and potatoes is like a just conglomerate of information that has been thrown at us that we have spent the last week trying to make sense of for you all. And I'm going to tell you, we, just ahead of us talking about all this, we have used all of the resources that that don't have paywalls.
Right.
Because we can't get behind paywalls right now. That's why Make Me a Coffee is...
Buy me a coffee.
See, this is why I don't say these things.
It's okay.
Buy Me a Coffee is there to help us get behind... You can just go look at it so we can get behind paywalls.
Yep.
But, I try to limit my CNN and MSNBC, but I do watch those two. They used to report similarly, but CNN's going through some horrible growing pains. We use the AP. We do look on the internet because there is information out there that's not biased, and a lot of stuff we like the National Wealth Fund or whatever.
The Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Thank you.
Yes.
That they are not that's going to be everybody's trust fund. We had to look that up. We didn't know what that was. So we do research. We may not know everything, and we might misspeak. So if you know something different or you want us to dig in, that's what the comment section is. Travis will repeat the email again at some point. Please, this is a work in progress, okay? So I wanted to say that at the beginning because this is a lot.
Yes.
And I know we are not the only people out there are struggling with this. I called my god brother, my bonus brother, I call him, because he, he comes from like the libertarian side of things. I have talked to someone who formerly supported Trump. I'm
on Fox News all the time.
Yeah, Travis handles the Fox News because I can't.
I'm on Fox News all the time because I want all the sources. I want all the sources, and I'm gonna find out the truth. Somewhere in the middle. But I'm not gonna just not look at what they're putting on there. I'm not gonna buy it all, but I need to know the difference. I need to know the difference between CNN and Fox News and NBC and CBS, what they're all doing, and the BBC.
So
I'm
saying all of that because we're not. I can admit I'm an expert on some things, like playing the violin. I can say that I got to an expert level of that. I am a expert level organizer. Travis will tell you my show sheets are immaculate, and they're very well planned out.
They're very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
They're very nice.
He says I'm the most organized of all of his talent.
Yeah, you're very nice.
Thank you. So
and yeah, I'm going to talk about some financial things, and I'm not a financial expert by any means, but if all of this stuff affects us, so it's good to try to at least attempt to have more than just a base understanding of all of these things. Yeah. We can really follow up the true meaning behind why all these things are happening to us.
Racism.
We can follow up, by not understanding them fully. So I'm trying to understand these things. I'm trying to understand where the Sovereign Wealth Fund is and what it's for. Because nobody's going to tell us directly about any of these things, what they're actually for.
You have to go to 9 different places to figure it out. And I know folks don't have time. No. I don't want people to be lazy, but I also want to help. Yeah. And this is the way I can. So with that, I just thought we could have a little chuckle at the beginning. So shout out to my friend Liza. Hey Liza, friend of the pod. She sent me an article about some J6 shenanigans. And let me just tell you, open article. Yay, open article.
This is from The Guardian.
Yeah, it might not even open, but there were a few January 6ers who, in Indiana, someone was killed during a traffic stop. Matthew Huddle, 42, was shot by the sheriff's deputy after allegedly resisting arrest and getting into an altercation with an officer. What?
Maybe.
What? Oh no, did he do the same thing he did the first time? And now he is with the Lord. Just a little moment of silence for Matthew Huddle. That's all he gets. Yeah, so his uncle, so wait, Huddle went with his uncle, and they both were charged, and he got it took him 6 minutes or 10 minutes to agree to a plea, and he got 6 months in prison. And then his uncle pleaded guilty to felony charge of assaulting an officer after he jabbed the police with a flagpole. And he got 30 years in prison, I think. And then, so another January 6th participant was rearrested on a federal gun charge that he had before he went to prison for January 6th. Right. And so now he's back in the prison. Right. And so how about that? They got caught outside. So I think, so it's real interesting. I bring up January 6th at the beginning of this because this kind of what kicked off, like, the Trump sees nonsense. Is like, I'm just going to pardon all these criminals, and they want to call people who look like me and poor white people, they want to criminalize them for a sack of weed, a little bit of heroin, and some crack. Which, are people still doing crack?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
They just functional crackheads? Or like, what is going I don't even know if there's a crack epidemic.
There's no such thing as a functional crackhead, but in my opinion. People are still doing it. Yeah.
Okay, I never did it, so I don't know. I know crackheads, but I just was wondering. Yeah. Okay, so
it's a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. And my part in this part, which we don't really have a name with, but I'm gonna call it tell it on the mountain. Go tell it on the mountain, because we finna tell it on the mountain.
Okay.
Is to talk about like some of the more social stuff that's happening, like social programs, and whatever. Like, so I wanted to start with that because I wonder how many more of them are gonna get like swept up or arrested or get in trouble for some
especially now that they've been emboldened by their
dictator leader Trump-o-dee-do-dee.
Yeah, I read another article where it had like at least a half a dozen of them that have met some kind of karmic retribution in some way since they've been pardoned. I mean, with all the people that were pardoned, it's gonna.
That's 1,500 people. That's the chance that
some of them.
Yeah, is gonna get in trouble is very, very high.
Since most of them are just. You know,
so when you get upset, I say all this to say, just remember
karma.
You're not a January 6th participant. Okay? Thank you, Liza. So I struggled with how to disseminate some of this stuff. So we know that Trump has an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time, he's like, I don't know anything about Project 2025. What's Project 2025? I don't know anything about that. And so we know he was lying. And so last night I was watching what I think is called the 11th Hour on MSNBC. And I don't know who the older gentleman that was on there that hosts it. And I'm so sorry, sir. But you're broadcasting. I'm hoping Travis is going to look it up so I can give him his props, because I had never seen that show before in my life until last night, because I'm just going to go on a little tangent. Comcast, y'all's app is garbage. First off, it logs me out every day. So every day I have to log back in. And then sometimes in the middle of the broadcast, it will log me out and I'd have to, what? I just want to get the news. I just want to be informed. And I want the apps to work correctly. What is his name, Travis?
From what I'm reading, it's Stephanie Rule is the host of the 11th Hour.
No.
Because I know who she is.
No, it comes on after,
It's not the 11th Hour?
No, it comes on, what's the show that comes on? Okay, it comes on before the 11th Hour. Comes on after Rachel Maddow.
Okay.
Who I missed, which I was sad. I was an hour too late.
It.
Okay, so he had behind him a screen that said, "We are a nation of laws," and he had it crossed out.
Alex Wagner?
What'd he look like?
Or The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell? I think that's it.
Yeah, maybe.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell comes before the 11th Hour.
Yes, The Last Word with Mr. McDonald or O'Donnell. And he did and I was like, The Nation of Laws, I'm pretty sure that's a book, maybe? Or, yes, that was him. And so Travis just showed me a picture of him. Y'all can't see. And so, he had it crossed out. And I was like, oh, I got to listen to this. And so I was listening to him. And he said, this week has shown us that we are not a nation of laws. Mm. So I wrote a list of laws that I think were broken by the Trumplesy. I don't want you to look at my list.
Okay.
I want you to name some things.
Oh, you want me to name some things?
Yeah, because we got to make this interactive for the audience, Travis. So it's test time.
Okay.
I want you not to look at my list.
I have no list.
No list. I want you to name some things that you think were... I'm going to move my list up. And I want to write...
Some things that were probably...
Laws were broken.
Not that I know for sure. But
right.
Off the top of my head, things that have happened in the last week
the laws were broken. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think that there's a lot of things associated with Doge and Elon Musk that happened.
Doge and Elon broke laws.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just the fact that the unfettered access that he's been given to kind of anything he wants inside of our government, the Treasury Department, with USAID, with just even the people that he's hiring, that how are they getting paid? Are they getting paid directly from him, or are they getting paid?
Travis, they're interns.
They're
not
interns.
Getting paid.
And they're these kids.
Yeah, they're kids.
They're these kids, he has six 19 to 24-year-old software engineers.
Did you say 16?
Six.
Oh, 6. How old are they?
6 19 to 24-year-old software engineers.
Okay.
That are basically doing all of his...
bidding.
Dirty
Just
work.
Call it bidding.
Yeah, his bidding.
It's like Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Because that's his new name.
Right, these are his hench. These are the henches.
Yeah,
Lex
Luthor is in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else you think?
I think the amount of access that they've had, what they've accessed, and I think there's definitely laws broken there somewhere.
Do you have any specifics?
I don't.
Okay.
Off
That's
the top
fine.
of my head, I really don't, but I mean, I just can't believe that there's not some kind of laws that have been broken there. And we'll find out in the future whether there have been or not, but...
Okay. Anything else? Because you're not wrong. So
Yeah.
I'm not, there's no wrong
Yeah.
answer here. I just want to hear
Yeah.
your opinion before I run my mouth.
Yeah.
Because you know I talk too much.
In terms of laws, though, I mean, that have been broken, I don't know specifically.
Okay.
I don't want to cite things that I think
Well,
are
no,
just
because
wrong.
we're not, that's not
Things
what
that
we're
are
going to
just
do.
wrong, and I want to separate the things that are wrong and things that are actual laws that have been broken.
Right.
You know?
And so,
I think it's all wrong.
Mr. O'Donnell, he
O'Donnell.
didn't say specific laws, right?
Right.
He talked about, so some of the things I wrote down about the Trumpancy, everybody loves that word, by the way.
I like Trumpancy.
Trumpancy?
Trumpancy.
Okay, sorry, Trumpancy.
Trumpancy. I like it.
Okay, instead of Trumpancy. Okay, so the dismantling of the USAID.
Yes.
That is, he does not have the power to do that. So that's breaking a law. You are not, so think about the power of the president. He doesn't have the power to do that. That's breaking a law.
Congress has already allotted the funds for USAID and for its
yes, and for
to operate.
To operate. So you cannot do it. You can't. That's breaking a law.
So they absorbed it into the State Department, which Marco Rubio is the head of. But you can't do that.
So all of that is breaking a law.
And so
why is no one, Travis? Why is no one getting arrested?
Because it's part of their agenda for now. It's part of their agenda for now.
But doesn't matter.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
We're going to talk about the FBI stuff in a minute, but I have that on there. The immigration policies. Now, somebody told me, I was talking to someone and they said, well, the immigration people are just doing what they're supposed to be doing, so they're not really breaking any laws. But what about all of our morality laws? You're supposed to help people, just like that clip we just watched that AOC was talking about. Those people came here for a reason. They didn't just put themselves and whoever they came with them, all that mess and muck to get here for no reason. So that, well, you already talked about that. They broke into the damn Treasury Department. I can't, okay, so I'm a person who gets Social Security, Disability, and Medicare. Do you know how scared I am? Do you know I went on the Social Security website today to make sure that my shit was coming?
Because a lot of these websites and a lot of these organizations that are getting closed are absolutely closed. You can't go to the USAID website because it doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist.
It's archived.
Right.
It's done.
And I was like, logging into it, my stomach dropped. Even right now, my heart is racing talking about it. Like, am I going to get my money? What is my mom's retirement money going to look like in a month? Like, people just think, oh, it's not going to affect you. But it is. Just like him wanting to gut other federal departments and programs, the mass firings. Like, you just can't fire a government employee. Like, it's a process. Because they're civil servants. Like, I have friends that work that are what do they call them? Civil employees of, like, the armed forces. They are even hard to fire.
Right.
They will move you around before they fire you.
Right.
Because working for those entities as a civil person, that's still mad respect, right? The civil rights violations, the stuff that they are saying on the podium, how they're making assumptions and just blatantly saying, oh no, we don't want people with disabilities doing jobs that they probably would not do. And even if they did do it, that meant they were qualified for it. The assumption that someone's not qualified because they have a disability, or they're black, or they're brown, or they're deaf, or they're whatever. tariffs, but I can't speak to tariffs, but that's one of the things I have on my list. And then Project 2025. All of that is just disgustingly laws. Because in this country, we have laws of morality, and we have laws of, like punishment laws. But we also have the laws that govern how this is supposed to be done. It's called the Constitution. And the articles of what's that other thing called, the Bill of Rights and the amendments, right? And Travis, can you just look and see if the Constitution is back on the White House,
on the government,
on the White House? Yeah,
sure, I'll take a look.
Because if you don't know, the Constitution has a permanent spot on the White House website, and last I looked, it wasn't there. So I've been trying to shift through some of this to try to figure out like what law, like what corresponds with what. Because we don't have time to talk about all this stuff. And I was looking at the presidential transition project for Project 2025 and going through like all the things that they are trying to get rid of, and they've already raised prescription drug prices and civil rights and DEI protections, banned African American and gender studies, they're deregulating the oil industry, mass deportation and incarceration in camps, ending birthright citizenship. Did they ban Muslims again? They stopped the people who helped in the Saudi Arabia from coming, like the people who helped with the...
Yeah, I don't think we just outright did a Muslim ban, though.
Right.
I didn't remember doing that.
So, like, people are constantly on the ticket. Did they put it back?
No, I don't think so.
The tickety talks, talking about, if, like, here, every time a new, what are those things called? A new, executive order comes out that, he,
This is gross.
Oh. He, it's just coming from the Project 2025.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, I'm not, yeah, so
They gave us the playbook. They said that it was a lie. They said during the campaign they didn't know anything, especially Trump, Vance. They said, and they're just going down the list here, and they're just checking off everything that was on the goddamn Project 2025, item by item. They're getting through as much of it as they can.
Yeah, I mean, so let's see. Is it Axios? Is that how you say it, the website?
Axios.
Axios has a lovely article that has all of the
all the executive orders.
Yeah, it hasn't been updated though.
Yeah.
This one isn't. I gotta find a better one. But he what the fuck? I'm sorry, y'all. My mouth. This is exhausting. I want y'all to know. I'm already tired, and I've only been talking for like 10 minutes. I feel like. He's signed 45 orders already, and so like expanding educational freedom and opportunities for families, ending racial indoctrination in K-12 schoolings, the celebration of America, who cares? I'm not celebrating America. Combating anti-Semitism, okay. Protecting children from chemical and surgical mutilation. Who in the entire Sam Tarnation hell is what? Did anybody order an Iron Dome?
With the amount of, with the way the foreign policy is going and the policies that they're taking, you almost need an Iron Dome. It's almost reasonable. That's almost one of the most reasonable actions they've taken.
No, we don't
because
need it. Because
if you mess with countries the way we've been doing with tariffs and threatening these tariffs and threatening to take the Panama Canal and Greenland and whatever the hell else you want to take, yeah, you kind of almost do need an Iron Dome because.
What's the Hyde Amendment?
I don't even know what is that.
I don't know. Can you Google
the Hyde Amendment?
Yeah,
sure.
And we're gonna Google that real quick because, I mean, Council to Assess Federal Emergency Management Agency, like these are literally all of the executive orders that he's done.
The Hyde Amendment is a federal law that prohibits the use of federal funds for abortion except in certain circumstances.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. Never mind. I'm not okay. So yeah, I mean, I just like designation of Ansar Allah as a foreign terrorist organization. Oh, designation. Revocation of certain executive orders. That was him revoking Biden's stuff.
Yeah.
Ending illegal discrimination and restoring merit-based opportunities. Like, I'm not going to read all of these, but I will. It's on the Federal Registry. You can go there. You can see all of the ones that he's done. I'm looking for a specific one. Oh, this is it's not my favorite one, but it's my favorite one. Because it rescinds a bunch of executive orders. Defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring the biological truth to the federal government. And it rescinds 6 different executive orders that were put into place during Biden's presidency. There's a TikTok one. Death penalty. Like, I mean, the list goes on and on because there's like almost 50 of them. The Doge. This is how he, made Doge, which is not how you do this. I hate it. I hate everything. Like,
we're doing whatever we can to bypass the normal channels, in essence, the laws of this country. We're circumventing our laws to push forth an agenda that is one man's agenda and really a group of people, but him as the head of this movement. And we're bypassing all these laws, using whatever's in their power to do so, and they're gonna. Then they know, because they've already set precedent for the weaponization of the justice system, right? So they can go later on when the justice system comes back at them and says everything that you just did is illegal. They can say, well, here they go again. Here they go again, trying to, use us for a scapegoat, and the Justice Department is weaponized against us, and all we're trying to do is make America great. And again,
the golden age,
and again, and the Justice Department's just out to get us. These judges, most of which you appointed, okay, are challenging the constitutionality of these things that you're doing, but they're trying to get so many of them put forth first. And they can just say that all when legality comes back, that and especially the precedent that the Supreme Court, the position they took, that the president has immunity. I don't know what.
Fuck that dude. I'm so okay. I can't talk about this anymore.
Yeah, it's tough.
I love you, listeners. please go and just, if you can, look at the executive orders, the ones that interest you. Like, I don't, a lot of them I don't understand just from looking at them. But initial recession of harmful executive orders, like what, who? And they're literally all during Biden's presidency. Like, none of them are during anyone, like, it's not like he's rescinding.
It's retaliatory.
Yeah, they're all retaliatory. And so people, the more you know, I will make sure the information is somewhere where you can see it. The next thing that I am going to talk about is the FBI stuff. So when I was preparing for the episode, they the thing was they wanted to investigate the agents that
worked on
January 6th.
cases. Yeah.
And last night they they were demanding that the FBI turned over the names, and then by the time I got to Travis's today, they had turned over 5,000 names.
5,000 people within the FBI that had worked on the January 6th cases.
Yeah, 5,000 people who are just like researchers or
whatever. They were just involved in the cases, no matter their ideology or not. Mm-hmm. They had worked on them.
Yeah, the agents are organized and they sued. And so
preemptively.
Yeah, they preemptively filed.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you're not finna fire us. And so, like, it's more than 5,000 employees' details were submitted, including employee ID numbers, jobs titles, and their roles in the investigation, but not their names. Right. There were more than 13,000 agents and 3,800 total employees that worked on it. Yeah. And then, I guess officials dispatched by the Evil Boy Wonder have been seen by the FBI headquarters, and Doge.
Devette, what is going on in this country when me and you are standing up for the FBI?
I mean,
what the hell? What wackiness is this when you and I are sitting here defending the FBI. Fucking FBI?
Well, I mean,
that's the kind of weirdness we're living in right now, and it just strikes you sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like, I'm defending the whole Justice
Department. This is the kind of insanity that we're fighting, where we're almost like, oh my God, am I defending the fucking ass FBI right now?
We are. I'm defending the whole Justice Department because they can't celebrate any of the fun holidays anymore. Like, those guys need some fun. Like, they're out, like, they literally...
We all do.
Right. The Justice... I don't think people really value what the Justice Department actually does. And yes, they ain't always on the up and up, like the different branches of it.
Definitely not.
Right, but they do keep us safe.
Yeah.
Just as, like, people think it's the military, but, like, no, domestically, like, they keep us safe.
Yes.
And they're being messed with.
Yes.
And, like, so, like, what? Like, I know about all the shenanigans. Like, there's shenanigans, but every organization has shenanigans. And so, like,
of
why?
Course.
But you're mad. You're big mad. So you're gonna use your. I just need to shut up. So, so then I wanted to say that a group of advocacy organizations, representing federal law enforcement officers, urged congressional leaders to prevent the Orange Dictator from purging career FBI officials. Yes. He's digging a foxhole to protect them.
Yeah.
And told them to do not resign. While we would never advocate for physical noncompliance, you need to be clear your removal is not voluntary. Like, I just... What? Like, these people, what? Huh? Wait, this is where we're at? They're, like, so they're coming for our, I can't. So, okay, people, so now we're at 5,000 employees within the FBI that studied or that researched and did all the stuff for January 6th. But at least he don't have their names. How about that? Let's see. The next thing is the Department of Education. And this is difficult for me to talk about because this has caused some arguments. But basically, more than 50 senior level employees within the Department of Education have been placed on administrative leave following Donald Trump's effort to rid the federal workforce of employees associated with diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Now, the Department of Education was created in 1979, and it was created to help enforce some things. School integration, because guess what? I have a story. I was born in 1978. Okay? When were we told schools were integrated?
When were we told? Oh.
Like, what year was school integration? You can look it up while I keep talking. Okay. I don't have it. We're not focusing on that Black History moment. Yeah. But the lady, was her first name Ruby? The girl that's in the picture? She's actually still alive.
Yes.
Very much alive. School integration happened in my parents' lifetime. My dad is 77 years old, okay? So it didn't happen long time ago. It happened in my dad's lifetime.
1954.
1954 was when school integration happened. They were still enforcing it in the late 70s. And here in Milwaukee, there was a program called 220. Now, would you think that my little black self would be in the 220 program? Because the 220 program, it busts white kids in, right? But it also busts black kids out. And so when my parochial school that my mom thought that I was going to go to until 8th grade closed because the inner city religious schools lost funding and they couldn't stay open because of what? Budget cuts to who got money from where? The state. Because no, we're not going to let little black kids have stellar parochial private school education with Jesus. I loved my elementary school. That's where I met my friend LaShonda. And so I got the chance to go to school in Shorewood until I was in the 6th grade. Okay? I got on a little bus and with my 6 or 7, 8 little black friends, and we got to go to Shorewood every morning. And that was, what was it? Integration.
I have an opposite story about this.
Oh, Travis.
So when I first moved to Milwaukee, I was in around 1st grade age. And I lived, my neighborhood school is Lincoln Elementary School on Lincoln Avenue. Yep. I lived over on Forest Home.
Okay.
And for anyone who's familiar with Milwaukee. I was actually denied to enroll in that school because they had met the
requirement for white people.
For white people, even though it was
your neighborhood
within school? It was within walking distance from my house, and I was actually bused to the inner city, an hour-long bus ride every morning to an inner city school.
To Elm? Did you go to Elm?
You know what? I can't, because it was only for a few months, and then we moved because it was just unreasonable for me. So I ended up going to another school where I could go to my neighborhood school.
Wow.
But yeah, I was
But
actually.
that was part of that. Like that was part of that. Like integration. Like they were.
It could happen.
Well, MPS was under a court order.
Right.
So my mom, education is a big topic in my family because my mom was a teacher and she taught for MPS. And Travis, do you know how my mom got here? Have I ever told you the story?
How she got where?
To Milwaukee.
To Milwaukee, no.
So my mom was living in Clarksdale, Mississippi, being a substitute teacher with her friends, living life. I mean, my mom went to college at 16. So she skipped she did three grades. And so I think she was like in her early 20s maybe. And MPS had a court order to hire black teachers from the federal government. And so they went where black teachers were and they interviewed my mom and her friends and she moved up here from Mississippi she was living in Mississippi. My mom is from Louisiana and with her friends and she met my dad and that's how I got here. So the Department of Ed is the people who keep the states in check and make sure they're doing things like funding special education and making sure special needs kids are getting what they need. They make sure that low income areas are getting the funding that they need. Excuse me, for their Head Starts and all that. Making sure that it's there to protect the students and making sure that all of the students are served. And so if you see that they say working on diversity and equity inclusion initiatives, they don't want that. And what people want to do is like assign that has to do with race. Those things have to, and they don't. They have to do with kids getting like the right care, having the right supports in the classroom, making sure that their IEPs are getting done. Like that's all. That has nothing to do with a kid's race. Has nothing to do with the woke agenda. Everyone deserves to have education, and the Orange Cheeto and his fucking cronies don't think that. They think that only white, affluent, cis people who are seemingly straight, because we know these people aren't all straight, deserve quality education and to be among the what I call the living. So if you get rid of the checks and balances, then the states can just do whatever they want and no one is checking in on what they're doing.
And that defeats the whole purpose of the federal government.
Right. So why do we need do we need a federal government if they're just going to do whatever?
Why shouldn't every state just be an independent nation then? Like, what is the federal government doing except then taxing people and profiting with things like a sovereign wealth fund? You know?
I'm not paying no sovereign wealth fund. I'm just here. My name is Bennett. And I'm not in it. Travis.
My name is Paul, and this is between y'all.
Yeah. Just a couple other things before I like everything is the DEI woke left agenda's fault. Like everything. Yeah. So plane crashes.
Press conference after that plane crash was.
Yeah,
shameful.
y'all should. Do you think they want to? You should watch it. I'm just gonna say, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Justice Department can't celebrate all the good holidays, like all of the good holidays. They can't celebrate it. All genders are canceled except for the two of the many biological sex combinations that exist. So we just got 2, even though there's 3. That are the three. There's 3 biological sex.
Right. But
then there's different combinations. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I had mentioned it before, the Defending Women from Gender Ideology order. Go take a look at that. It's a doozy. And then all the EEOC cases are on hold. So if you got an EEOC case out there, good luck. Good luck. And if you don't know what EEOC stands, it's Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So lastly is the USAID. So they have that department controls over $42 million.
Created by Kennedy.
He beat me to it, but yes, in 1961, they wanted to like counteract. They started it to counteract the Soviet Union, and what they were doing out there globally, and so Trump froze it, and like there's programs in 120 countries, and like it's international companies to shut down 10,000 programs. I think of the chef. That,
yes, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, right that has the
chef. I'll find it.
We're gonna come back to the chef, but that's the thing that I thought about initially when they first started talking about the USAID, because it's something kitchen.
Jose Andres.
Yes, Jose Andres. He actually resigned. Yeah. Before all of the mess from the commission. He was like he worked at USAID or something, and
well, I think he gets funding.
He does get funding, but he was on some sort of board or something, and he resigned from it. And so when Trump got elected, and so but his organization that he helped to feed people during COVID, and that still is operating, like he was feeding folks in Gaza. Gets a funding from that program.
Yeah, World Kitchen.
World Kitchen. And so, like, no more World Kitchen, bye. And then, like, the AIDS epidemic in Africa was funded, like, the medicine and treatment, the doctors, was funded by that. I'm almost finished with watching all of ER, and they focus on that in that show. John Carter, who's played by Noah Wiley, he goes to Africa for a significant amount of time, and his baby mama, she has a program out there where she's treating people with AIDS, and the money came from President Bush. I can't stress that. The senator from Hawaii, he said the USAID is not just about saving other countries from starvation or disease. It is the arm of American foreign policy. It is because we understand that a stable world means a stable America. And before I finish my time, I want to say this. We cannot just think about ourselves, because it's not just us. We're not just here. We're not the only. And that's why the perception that I'm a rich girl is laughable to me, because I've never just thought about myself. Sometimes I have to, because I have to protect myself, and because I know I have quirks, and my neurodivergency does not allow me to put myself in situations or to allow for other people to put themselves on me, and I might not react in a way that people want me to react or think I should react, because I'm only myself. But I am a community. I am about, giving, and America has always been about giving, and I'm about to ruin the show with my stuff.
It's been about giving and acceptance, and and I know we didn't always practice exactly what we preached.
Right.
But we got better at it.
Right.
We
and
got
we
better
had
and
these
better at
things
it.
that we're better at it, and that we're constantly trying to make us better, even though the outwardly, the front-facing thing was shitty. And so, like, that's what I'm trying to say, is that, like, we're constantly working on ourselves, and all of this is taking us backwards. Like, it's like we had a relapse, and we cannot relapse back to the 1950s. Like, we can't do it.
Right.
Like, the hippies would be so mad at us. So, I want to sum it up and say, I'm just going to keep following, like, this social stuff, and like get ready to talk more about like the people involved. So you know your whoever's involved.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses.
And you're hungry. You forgot the hungry. You know, I just can't believe. Also, somebody wanted to know, where is Eric? And then they said Dumb Jr. and Ivanka. So they called him Dumb Jr.
Okay.
Instead of Don Jr.
Okay.
Like, where are they? And let me just make sure.
Where's Don Jr.?
Where is Don Jr.? Don, where are you?
Is he in a hole? Is he carrying a flagpole? Where is Don Jr.?
Who knows? So yeah, just be diligent, like, and like I said, diversify, and you know, Travis is gonna talk about what?
Nothing.
Talk about the money stuff when we come back. Or are you gonna talk about?
Yeah, let's take a break. We've been going a long time on this segment. It's gonna be a big file. Let's take a break and
take a break.
Take a break. And we'll come back.
Stand up. Make sure you drink some water. Go to the bathroom and just take a couple breaths in and out, because this was a lot. I word vomited for like 20 minutes.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, what, DeVette?
Where'd you get that sweet watch?
Where'd I get this sweet watch?
Yeah.
From
Value Village?
No, from an estate sale. Actually, a guy who's a little bit of a
Trump supporter?
No, well, he might have been that too, but he was a sex offender.
Oh, awesome!
We discover, when you go to a lot of estate sales and you buy a lot of people's stuff, you end up discovering little clues about their life. And yeah, we found out that this guy was a sex offender. But I did restore a couple of his vintage watches that he had, and I'm using them for good.
Are you doing complex math problems like we learned in Mr. Obiji's algebra class?
Oh my God, that's his name. Oh my God, I did not remember his name. Yes. Yeah.
Doing those calculations on there.
On my calculator watch from 1987. No, it's just for style only. I'm not doing any calculations on it.
Yeah, no, I don't do any algebra calculations ever.
Yeah.
But thank you, Mr. BG.
Mr. BG.
I never had Mr.
God,
BG.
he did not like me.
Yeah, I don't think he liked anybody.
Man.
Oh, you know, like, thank you, Department of Education, because I don't think we would have had Mr. BG. And thank you, Immigration. Because we wouldn't have had Mr. BG if it wasn't for the immigration of the late 90s, of them helping refugees from African nations, for him to be able to come here and horribly teach us math.
Horribly.
So thank you, Mr. BG.
Yeah.
So Travis, okay, so here's the thing.
Speaking of math,
people, okay, we realize this is like a supersized episode, and we don't want to do these all the time, but there was so much stuff to cover. So now it's Travis's turn. I'm just gonna shut up and listen, because I don't understand Doge. I don't understand this fund, chest, war, sovereign, whatever it's called. I don't understand that. And then so I'm just gonna let him go. I'm gonna shut up and listen like he listened to me, and then we gonna catch somebody outside.
Well, I don't know if I understand it all is that much either. You know, I'm trying to understand what it's all for. You know, I'm trying to understand what this is all for and what the end game of all these because we're trying to collect money, right? We're trying to collect money together, and we know that it isn't going to go. It's not going to be dispersed down to us, right? So what is this all for? And so this sovereign wealth fund that the president announced the other day that he wants to create for the United States, it's an investment fund that some states use, and by states I mean governments, use when they have an excess of funds, and they basically they have an excess of funds or resources, and they want to create a fund and basically make money off of the return that they get off of that investment that they put in, you know, your interest. And there's countries like Norway have one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds, and they use it to fund like 20% of their government of just what they make off that fund, and they never actually even have to touch it. And it seems like it works for them. But then it can also be used, a sovereign wealth fund can be used for different purposes. And so some countries that enact a sovereign wealth fund will use it as a war chest to hold money, just in case if they think they're near war or something, they're going to need to immediately be able to access funds to fight a war. They will make a sovereign wealth fund or some kind of similar fund so that they can draw upon a large amount of cash all at once. And so Elon Musk and his Doge group, I don't even know what to call them. They're a government oversight department, but not a part of the government. Just on the president's will was created, and we know that Elon Musk is the head of this. He's trying to get control of the entire Treasury Department. There's people within the Treasury Department that have denied him and his team access, and they're resigning their jobs now in protest. The assistant Treasury Department head and several other people are completely, they've already said, no, we're not giving you the power and the access that you want. You're not actually a part of the government. You can fire me, I'll resign, whatever, and you can put somebody in this position that is going to do whatever you want, but I'm not going to do it. You know, there have been people that have done that, and there's probably a lot more people that would like to do it, but they need their jobs. They need their jobs, and they need to provide for their families and for themselves, and they're probably scared as hell to speak out against any of this stuff that's happening. That's especially why Elon Musk is using 19 to 24-year-olds to do his bidding, because they have none of those concerns, and they don't have, they're single young men. They have absolutely no families that they have to look after, and it's almost like generals using young soldiers to run onto the battlefield first as cannon fodder, because they have no attachments.
The first line of defense.
Right. You find the soldiers that have no attachments, no one to go home to, and those are the ones that you're going to send out for cannon fodder first. And if you're a good soldier in quotation marks, you're going to acquiesce to that because you already know. Mm-hmm. But what is the purpose of all of this spending freezes here and wanting to close USAID, and what are we saving all this money, and what are we trying to build all this money and this wealth for? Because it's not going to come back to us, and they're not proposing any new government programs that they're going to use that money for, right? They're just taking them away. They're just taking away the ones they think are overspending, and they're going to build up a bunch of wealth for whatever purpose then they want to enact. Because a lot of these things, especially like the deportation of all the immigrants and stuff, this is costing a ton of money.
Oh God!
And
so
where
much
is all that money coming from? You know, and to get more money legally to do all those things, they would have to go to Congress.
Right.
You know?
So is this a way to circumvent Congress?
This is totally a way to circumvent Congress and build up a fund so that you can enact your policies, whatever they are, even if it's not war specifically,
without having to ask Congress.
Without having to ask Congress. And to have somebody that's not even part of our government doing all this, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the specific laws that are being broken here. But my God, I know they are.
Well, let's just say the Constitution. It's unconstitutional. There you go. Full stop. Close the slate. We're done. You're cooked. Like, you're established. I can't talk. I'm not supposed to be talking. I'm gonna shut up. But Constitution. I'm done.
Constitution. That's all you got to say. Constitution. But in a White House that doesn't even list the Constitution anymore on the White House website, if you go to the White House website,
Google where's the Constitution.
Yeah.
And see what comes up.
If you go to the White House website, you get a really nice picture of 47 and old Blue Eyes Vance and Melania and Vance's wife, and nowhere is the Constitution on there. It's been taken down from the White House website. By the time you hear this, maybe they'll have it back up out of shame. I doubt it. They made excuses about it. We're reworking everything. Apparently, the Constitution should come before personalities, in my opinion, when it comes to the government of the United States.
I don't even know why you have to. Why do you have to take it down? Like, I get that they're changing. It's the change.
Were you taking parts out, or
no? Like, I get it's the change of the guard, but like it's on its own separate page. Like, why do you even have to?
Why?
And they did the same thing in 2017 when they redid the website. It was not on there for a while, but like a month. But I don't understand. And if somebody wants to say coding or whatever, you can fix your website. And you can make changes to it, and the outward-facing website doesn't change while you're making the changes. They do that to Facebook all the time. Yeah, you see little glitches, but you can still, message your drug dealer.
We know, and they know, Devette, that people have a short attention span, and you cannot put your policy and agenda, if it's in opposition to the Constitution, so close to the Constitution. You can't put it one click away from your bullshit policy and agenda that is breaking the Constitution right next to the Constitution, so people can fact check you right away. You got to have it far away. Yeah, you're not going to deny people access to the Constitution, but you can't have it that near this bullshit that you're trying to sell to people. So I understand you don't want the Constitution anywhere near your ass, because people are going to read it and find out you're breaking every... I'm Devette.
I know, Travis. Listeners.
And we can't even get into the tariffs. The tariffs were such a dog and pony show.
Yeah, because it's over now. So we had originally wanted to talk to you guys about the tariffs, but then it was just like, our bad. Never mind. They were just threats, and I think the only ones that have stuck are China, and I guess Elon's not going to get his batteries now. Travis, I'm literally over it. And I want to thank you for even participating in this, because we have been struggling with all of this together. Travis is not a phone guy, and he literally talks to me on the phone every day, a couple times, and I really appreciate it, because we love doing this, because we want to let people know that somebody is out there that not only wants to help disseminate information, but also is probably just as confused as you are most of the time. And so that's why we try to, literally, that's the name of our podcast, right? We could have named it, the Dog and Pony Show with Travis and Devette. We could have been on here talking about other stuff. Travis and I have, for two people who don't look the same and have had opposite lives, we have a lot in common, which is why we're friends. We could talk about hip hop. We could talk about movies. We could just talk about Milwaukee if we wanted, but we care about the country that we live in, even though a lot of times it doesn't care about us. So, I don't know, Travis. Here's the thing about the Sovereign Fund. I don't understand it, and I mean, we're probably gonna have to talk about it again. But that's something that we should watch out for. Yeah. Pay attention to the tariffs. I don't know. I don't know. And then what was the other thing you talked about? Oh, Doge. Yeah, Doge is doing too much. And I highlighted some stuff Doge is doing too. They're the ones who broke into the treasury. So
the fact of the matter is this government is trying to collect money together, and to what end? Because they're not getting it together to serve you. They're not getting it together to give back to you. They're not getting it back together to lower your taxes. They're not getting it together to bring your grocery prices down. None of that bullshit that they promised you during the election. None of it is going to go to that. None of it.
Yeah, while Travis was lamenting, the administrator asked for patience as they're building out the new website.
The White House website, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're just like, they're editing it, so they had to take it down.
Editing the Constitution?
No, the website.
Okay, well...
And I'm just like, what?
Apparently the most important thing was to have portraits up of the first family and not the Constitution. And that's just right there, that tells me a lot about your government and the way you want to run things. It was more important for you to have your portraits up and right before you had the Constitution right. And the Constitution in this country should come first.
Yeah, but I bet you them executive orders is on there. And I bet you that him saying that it's only two genders. Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever, so, Tibet. Yeah.
Who can't sit with us this week, Tibet?
Oh God.
If y'all don't know, this is a little segment that we like to do towards the end of the show, and just talk about somebody.
She just can't. She can't sit with us. She also needs to go outside. We need to meet her. She can catch us outside because I am so tired of this. I'm so tired of her. Like, Who
are we talking about?
Caroline Leavitz, Lovitz, however you say her name. And I gotta just get myself together real quick because she is, the stuff that comes out of her mouth.
And let's just tell everyone that doesn't know.
She's the press secretary. She's the Cheetos press secretary. Mm-hmm. And she's horrible. I want her to, I hope she hears this, Caroline. First off, your name should be spelled with a C. Okay? Who spells Caroline with a K? Catherine is supposed to be spelled with a K. Caroline's supposed to be spelled with a C. We're just going to stop there. We're going to start there. Not stop. We're going to start there. Where's my notebook? I can't find my notebook. Damn it. Okay. Okay, so I am not saying that a 27-year-old cannot be press secretary. Because they can. But come on.
Yeah.
She is racist. She does not understand that she's a diversity hire. Okay? She does not understand that she was groomed. And then let's talk about her husband, who's how many years older than her? Like 32? Let me see. 32 years her senior.
Yeah.
Like she every time she opens her mouth, I want to stick something in it so she stops talking. I don't know who is helping her. I mean, she may be a lovely, lovely journalist. She's not, but I don't know. I just, every time there's a press briefing, I hope they send someone out or she's at home sick.
Mm-hmm.
She is doing a disservice to America. She is getting up there and blatantly lying and pushing the most harmful and disgusting rhetoric. Stop. I don't even like to fight, right? But she'd catch me outside because I got words. I will fight her with my words, and I will look at her and say, who hurt you? Like, how do you get this way? Like, how indoctrinated you are, and you want to talk about woke policies and DEI? You don't even know what it is. You have no compassion for humanity. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she ran for the House of Representatives in 2022.
Yeah, Travis, go.
She ran for the House of Representatives in 2022 in New Hampshire. I think it was in New Hampshire. And
she lost.
And yeah, she won the Republican nomination and lost the election. And then she went on to work for MAGA Super PAC. And then she went on to be the press secretary for Trump's 2024 presidential campaign.
She also worked in his press corps.
Yeah.
While she was still in college. And so, like, me and my friend were trying to figure out the numbers. And I'm like, okay, so in 2016, when he was elected, how old was she? Like 17. So then I was like, how does she work in his press corps? And so I was like, okay, so I went and read a little bit more, and it was towards the end of her graduating that she did. Like, she went to work for him in like 2019, yes. Right?
Yes.
So I was like, okay, well, maybe I know a lot. They had a lot of white girl interns in that photo of his last intern class. And then it got me to thinking about this documentary that I watched, and I think it was God and Country. And they talked about how the universities, like those uber Christian universities, the one that had the scandal with the man being the cuckold, and okay, so they have a organizing arm that they're teaching the kiddos how to organize and how to get into politics, because they're funneling them to go clerk and work for these Republican senators so they can get them in there because they're indoctrinated, and she is one of them.
Leavitt was an instructor for Project 2025's Conservative Governance 101 training program.
Ding, 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 ding. Like, she's awful. Like, she's like essentially one of them, and her role is to control the narrative. Anything else, Travis? I don't like her.
That's it.
I don't like her. She can catch me outside. She can't sit with me. I would not catch her in the trust fall. And Damien would say, you don't go here.
You don't even go here.
You don't even go here. Because she don't.
Follow us on social media. We gave you all the places where you can follow us before, but we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. Subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can go to TeePublic and get a t-shirt or a pillow or any number of things with our merch. Yeah. And you can go to buymeacoffee.com/makeitmakesense, and you can give us a one-time donation or a monthly donation and help us out with this cause and help us get a studio and some video.
Please, I need a real chair.
Yeah.
And some space to put my legs up.
I know. So we're doing the best we can. I hope you all are all right out there.
Right.
Thank you.
We gonna be all right. Yep. Ooh, we gonna be all right. Bye, everybody.
See you next time.